Pakistan has a lot of issues with global finance and cards. And realistically, if you are an international business trying to operate in Pakistan, this will be very, very important for you to watch. So make sure to watch until the end so you understand exactly how the Pakistani economy is dictated by its lack of interoperability within international finance. Hello and welcome back to the Troubling Report. Today we're going over why Pakistan is very interesting for a lot of reasons, but one of those reasons is its rampant anti-money laundering schemes and why realistically CINC makes it near impossible as a foreigner to do business without local intermediaries here in Pakistan. Now, of course, when I first came to Pakistan, it was interesting getting a driver, as I didn't have any cash on. And if you know anything about Pakistan, you know that realistically it's very difficult to operate with the local banks here, as they are extremely high in anti-money laundering standards, which is something that obviously not a lot of people will realize. As from the outside, it looks like Pakistan may actually be funding the terrorists. It may actually be spending money to harbor terrorists. However, Pakistan specifically rejects this, and it's for a long laundry list of reasons, but the main reason is the US has bombed Pakistan, and they don't want to go through that again. And so, with specifically me landing in the airport in Islamabad, the totality of how people spent time and how people lived around me as a tourist. First of all, my card didn't work because Pakistan still has partial sanctions due to a lot of reasons, but the US still partially sanctions Pakistan. And of course, if you want to learn how to open a bank account in a country so you don't deal with what I deal with, feel free to reach out and subscribe to this channel, as well as realistically we go over banks and optionality all the time. Now, of course, living and operating across Pakistan, and even just in the capital city of Islamabad, it is very interesting from a dynamic of how the Hawala system works as well, which of course I will get into Hawala in another video, but it shows that traditional banking doesn't work here. It's too cumbersome, it's too bureaucratic, and realistically, as someone who was just here for 9 days, right? And I'm now going to Uzbekistan tomorrow, so be tuned in if you want to learn more about Uzbekistan. Of course, again, feel free to subscribe. It only takes you a few seconds, and I would really appreciate it. Only being here for 9 days, I've realized just how difficult it is to operate here in Pakistan. Living, I think it would be even harder if you didn't have a local bank account. Of course, there is Western Union, there is MoneyGram. However, those are cumbersome as well. I spent 30 minutes to an hour to get one transfer, not even a transfer, sorry, one currency exchange from Saudi Riyal to Pakistani rupees, which of course, not exactly the fastest operation, right? An hour to get a currency exchange. I could do that in 5 minutes on the streets of Tbilisi, or even in the future in Tashkent. No one is going to make you sign 15 forms and then contact the Bureau of whatever in Pakistan to make sure that it is okay if a foreigner exchanges. Because realistically, especially as an American, there's not a real risk of a foreigner going out and financing terrorism, not going out and financing any of these potentially damaging things. But in Pakistan, because of the reputation that they've harbored, it does become a problem and it does become an issue. Now, this isn't to say that, of course, there is benefit to the system. I think that realistically, as systems adopt and as systems become a more unique version of themselves, there is a benefit to blocking these transactions that are potentially harmful to people. However, Pakistan takes it to a whole nother level. And as someone who, of course, spent time here, and I'm presently here in Islamabad, Pakistan still, it was very difficult to find enough money in cash to cover my stay. And realistically, I'm still dealing with that. And of course, I will deal with it. I have ways to get around it. I am very globally connected, so it's not a huge issue. But to say that it's not a huge detractor for people who are looking at investing here is a huge understatement. It's a huge detractor to investment, facilitating any business here. And of course, I will go into the business climate and why it is so hard to deal with business here in South Asia and Pakistan in specific. But I think that there is some benefits to doing business here in South Asia as well. The monetary system is not one of them. And spending an hour to look at a currency exchange. Again, I will emphasize this over and over because it's just accurate. You should not spend an hour at a currency exchange. And additionally, there is some nuance to be had, right? If you are a Pakistani national, it's a fairly easy process. And of course, for those who are looking at creating a Pakistani passport, you can look in the description and my channel down below. There is a video on creating or getting Pakistani citizenship for $18,000 if you are a Commonwealth citizen, which will give you the CINC access, will give you all of the rights of a Pakistani citizen. And this is beneficial. So, of course, if you are looking for a way to learn more about the jurisdictions I'm speaking on, subscribe to the channel down below. I do videos every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, about these topics. If you like this video, feel free to like it. If you really like this video, feel free to share it with your friends. If you are looking for a way to learn about the jurisdictions you should be moving to and moving where your money matters, feel free to reach out and fill out the Google Forms so you can get a quote on a jurisdictional one-pager. This has been the Traveling Report, signing off.